The day was April 10, 2017. Complex premiered its daily morning talk show, Everyday Struggle. Days later, we all got a look at how wild the behind-the-scenes antics were on the show, leading to a cult following that was cut short only after one season. It was a fairly simple idea. Get 3 hosts together, 2 of them having opposite perspectives, and 1 mediator to discuss all the hot-button issues within the hip-hop landscape. Repping the contemporary, by-the-minute millennial information machine was DJ Academics, who built a large following for himself through viral videos on various streaming platforms, leaning more towards the gossip and rumor mill, including the controversial Warren Chirac videos that led to this particular moment.
I wanted to slap you in your face. You sensationalized and made a following off of clowning situations that we go through in real life. And I think, you know, niggas ain't had no right. You know, you specifically, like, you ain't never have a right.
In Clyde Levelette's 2015 editorial for The Daily Dot titled How DJ Academics Became Hip-Hop's One-Man TMZ, he said this: tech-savvy young hip-hop fans routinely come to him for rumors and viral offerings, whether it's Young Thug following Caitlyn Jenner on Instagram or Suge Knight fainting in a courtroom. DJ Academics is molding urban news in his image, one screenshot and one added watermark at a time. On the opposite side of the spectrum was Joe Budden. He transitioned from a notable major label solo act on Def Jam to one of the more consistent indie artists of his decade. All the while, he served as a member of the supergroup Slaughterhouse. Somewhere in between that time and now, he built himself up as an outspoken rap expert via podcasts, which even led to a short-lived beef with Drake. Rounding out the host alongside serving as the glue between the polarizing opinions of both Academics and Joe Budden was Nadeska Alexis, offering a more journalistic perspective considering her BA in journalism from Binghamton University. Alexis gained respect as hip-hop's most esteemed journalist with bylines in the Boombox and MTV way before making her way over to Complex Media. The debut episode to date has only seen around 500,000 views, as subsequent episodes, which ran from Monday through Friday, only served to grow support for Complex's successful experiment. Watching DJ Academics and Joe Budden go back and forth couldn't have been more of a pleasure to watch, as each stood on opposite sides of various ideological issues within hip-hop. However, it wasn't until Everyday Struggle decided to bring special guests along that things started to get really interesting.
What do you want me to say? You want me to say?
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm rooms eating fucking oodles and noodles. I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
My nigga. Chill.
Yeah, hold up. To no surprise, Joe Budden's issue with Lil Yachty would spill over into other quality control artists, including their flagship trio, Migos. The issue would spill into one of the biggest viral moments of 2017 during the BET Awards. Budden even spoke on the controversial standoff during an episode of Vice's show, The Therapists.
What else could you have done, rather than walk off and throw the mic?
I could have done nothing.
Okay.
They get up, they feel however they feel, they go on about their business, and that's the end. That sounds boring.
Before the year wrapped up, Lil Yachty and Migos would send shots to Joe Budden on the Ice Tray track and music video from the Quality Control compilation, Control the Streets Volume 1.
If a nigga hatin', call him Joe Budden. Pussy!
And that wasn't even the only artist to have an issue with Budden's criticism. Rappers like Russ, and even Chance the Rapper found himself throwing shade at Budden.
I was getting hit up all over the internet because somebody didn't like it, this talk show host, Joe Budden.
They had a gang of other guests on the show, including Wale, SZA, 21 Savage, Joey Badass, Issa Rae, DJ Mustard, 2 Chainz, and a host of others. As the first season wrapped up in December of last year, it was announced that Joe Budden would be leaving Everyday Struggle. In a statement sent to Billboard, Complex said, Joe Budden is not continuing as a host on Everyday Struggle in 2018. The show will be back in the new year with all new episodes and guests. We wish Joe all the best and thank him for a great 2017. On his podcast, Joe Budden gave an explanation for his exit.
I cannot create a show and you sell the fucking properties of that show without cutting a slice to the niggas that make that fucking show possible.
As Joe left the show to continue his own podcast and eventually ink a deal with Revolt, Everyday Struggle has attempted to regain the magic that Joe Budden seemed to have taken with him. In late January this year, it was announced that controversial radio personality Star would be Budden's replacement. Ironically, this led to more drama, seeing that Star previously said some rude sexual comments about Alexis before joining the show.
How about that Nadeska on Everyday Struggle, huh? How about that little hot thing? I would love to jerk off on her leg.
In May, Star would leave before being replaced by notable industry insider and A&R Wayno, who had already served as a guest for several episodes already. For those out of the loop, Wayno Clark has built himself as one of the music industry's leading figures with a resume that includes everything from working with Rockefeller to managing Dave East. In a Huffington Post editorial, Azim Khan once called Wayno the Phil Jackson of hip-hop. That's a big statement. The change in guests still hasn't led to an incredible viral magic that Budden brought to the show, and viewer numbers have reflected that none of the episodes have reached the heights of season 1. Was Budden the core factor of Everyday Struggle's popularity? Could be, but let us know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow everything All Def Music. For All Def Music, I'm Jay Taj, and this is The Report.
What up, squad? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can hit the subscribe button. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram by clicking the links below. Until next time, thanks for watching All Def Music.